Hi everybody, thank you for coming back. In the past, I've tried a little bit to come up with themes to tie the various films I'm talking about together. And for today's episode, I had a couple, but they were stretches. In all honesty, this is just a couple of films I happened to stumble across recently that I was really impressed with. That's really the only theme. I saw them recently, I wanted to share them with you because they're fairly recent films that I'd never heard of. The first movie I'd like to talk to you about is The Amateurs. I'll admit it, I am a sucker for films about making films. I can't get enough of them, especially when they're well done. This one stars Jeff Bridges, who, let's be honest, has a habit of picking some decent films to be in. Jeff Bridges plays this depressed, down-and-out guy. His life is falling apart, he can't hold on to a job, his wife has left him, his son has a new successful daddy. And he finally comes up with an idea. He and his entire small town will get together to make the greatest porno film ever made. I can already hear you turning off. Don't. Stick with me for a minute. Listen. This movie contains no nudity. Okay? And the language is pretty reasonable. They do talk about penises. But beyond that, the language is pretty reasonable. It is not a dirty film. It is well done. It's quite funny. It actually has some of the funniest dialogue I've heard in a long time. The movie isn't about porn. It's about the community coming together trying to make this. It's about how having this dream affects the lives of the people around him. And the ending is really nice. And I'm not going to spoil anything about it for you, but the porn element is there for comedic purposes more than anything. If he decided to just make a regular film, the movie wouldn't be that different. It would lose some of its humor, because it is cute, because the whole town gets together, and so sometimes you'll see some old women, and they're talking about the porn industry, and the old women are contributing to talking about the porno film, and it's kind of funny. But I think I know I could watch it with my mother. I could. Very easily, without any awkwardness. I might even have been able to watch it with my grandmother when she was still with us, because my grandma had a pretty good sense of humor. So, don't let the fact that it's about a porn turn you off. It's hilarious and occasionally touching. It's well written. It's well acted. It is worth seeing. It is a movie that won't disappoint. The second movie I'd like to talk to you about is Ink. Ink is very clearly a low-budget film, but they do so much with that budget. It's really impressive. It's sort of an urban fantasy film, and it's really quite... The visuals are very interesting. The story is very well written and intelligent. I was amazed by coming across this little gem. Now, is it as good as something like Mirror Mask, which was kind of the same, just this indie fantasy? No. Mainly because it didn't have even half the money that Mirror Mask had. But again, they really make a lot with the money they do have. And maybe somebody who doesn't have a trained cinema eye like mine wouldn't even notice it was a low-budget film. I can't tell you much about the plot without giving it away, but it involves a world where there are magical creatures just on another plane of existence that we can't see. Storytellers. These are the ones who come and in our sleep they touch our heads and give us these fabulous dreams. And incubuses, whose shadows touch us and give us horrible nightmares. And there's obviously these two groups don't get along, and there's some other outsiders who don't belong to either faction, and all of this is set against one man's life and the choices he makes. It becomes not just this great fantasy tale, but an exploration of morality. And it's really enjoyable. It has a really hard indie feel to it. So if you like independent films, absolutely go for it. If you like fantasy, go for it. just go for it. So that's all I've got for now. Go see The Amateurs with Jeff Bridges. Go see Ink, because it's really quite brilliant what these people did with what they had. Come back next week, and I will have some more for you. Yes! Thank you for coming.